Your attention span is fried, and in this video I'll teach you how to restore it back to a good level so that you can actually be a functioning human being. If you do this, you'll be able to optimize your results in every single area of your life. We may have been the first generation of iPad kids. Well, not exactly the first generation, but like half a generation of iPad kids, because the people I grew up with, we only started getting devices when we were about 10 years old. So we had the first 10 years, like a good 10 years without devices, and then after that it was just destruction. I would say that being half a generation of iPad kids didn't necessarily hinder our attention span at first, but it's developed in us the need to be constantly stimulated. Because when you first got our iPads, right? When you first got our devices, our phones, we'd just be watching something while we eat, we'd be watching something, listening to music while we do this, listening to whatever. So you can even see it now when we're much older that we all have the need to be constantly stimulated. It's like people can't do simple things without music. 99, okay, no, maybe not 99, but 90% of people have to shower with music, or they have to shower while listening to something. So to be fair, being the first generation of iPad kids didn't really hinder our attention span until the introduction of short form content. This is TikTok, your Vines, what else? YouTube Shorts, now Reels. It's recently been overloaded in the past year. Because of the short form content, it's like we're training our minds to pay attention for like 2 seconds. Because the average length of a TikTok or Reel, I don't know, but it's probably about 15 seconds. The truth is we don't watch most of the Reels we come across, the TikToks you come across. You will give it like 3 seconds and you decide, I don't like this video. Then you watch the next one because it's interesting. Then the next one you watch it halfway. So on average, you're only paying attention for like 7 seconds. So you're training your mind to only be able to pay attention at one thing, or pay attention to one thing for 7 seconds. So now we literally have attention spans that are just better than goldfish. And think about that. As smart as you are, as wonderfully designed as you are as a human, you now have an attention span that's just double a goldfish. That's just 7 seconds. And a decreased attention span affects every single area of your life. It will affect your relationships because you won't be able to pay attention when you're having conversations. You won't be able to remain present. See, your friend will be talking to you and you're just going like this. You're just fiddling with other things and you start messaging someone on your phone while your friend is actually talking to you. See, last night I was with my friend Tanaka, my best friend actually. And what were we doing? Oh yeah, we were talking in the car, like just after gym. And we're having a conversation and my phone started ringing. And I wanted to pay attention to the conversation because I was actually enjoying it. So my phone was ringing and I just ignored it. I just put it to the side and I ignored it. If I hadn't been working on increasing my attention span, that wouldn't have been possible. And if I hadn't had ignored the call, subconsciously Tanaka would have been like, damn, this call is more important than our conversation, and it wasn't. To have the best relationships with people, you have to be able to give them your full attention. And you only be able to give people your full attention if you can concentrate and pay attention to what they're saying. The next area that is damaged because of a lack of attention span is work and success in most areas. It's common knowledge that to be able to do something well and to be able to produce something of value, you have to be able to pay attention when you're actually in the production phase. So if you can only pay attention for 7 seconds, or let's push it, you can pay attention for like 10 minutes. Do you think you'll be able to produce anything of value in those 10 minutes? You may be able to start producing something of value. And then your mind will wander and you're just like, you know what, let me take a TikTok break. Let me do this, let me do that. If you can't pay attention to what you're doing, you will never be able to produce anything of value. You will never be able to produce anything substantial. The highest achievers that I've met, like, you know, the guy with the best grades, the guy who's the best at whatever sports, these people are able to pay attention for hours, for like 2 hours, just on one task, without taking a break, just focusing on that one thing. And because of that, they can cultivate the amazing skills that they need to be able to achieve great things in those arenas. See, if you want to achieve any level of success, if you want to even just beat your friends, you have to be able to pay attention to the things that you're doing. You have to be able to concentrate, and you can't concentrate without being able to pay attention. In fact, the last one is just general contentment in life. If you lack an attention span, you won't be able to enjoy the moments in your life. Because let's say you go to like a mountain range and now you're looking at the view. After 10 seconds, you're going to get tired of looking at the view and you're going to be like, whatever, nice view. You won't be able to fully enjoy the finer moments in your life. You won't be able to enjoy the little things, like how the leaves, like the sound that the leaves make when you step on them. You won't be able to enjoy the feeling of wind brushing against your skin. You won't be able to...
TJ! TJ!
You won't be able to fully enjoy looking into that girl's eyes. You won't be able to enjoy anything. You may feel like you're enjoying, but it will be nothing compared to if you were actually paying attention in those moments. And I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle with paying attention. A few days ago, I was in the gym, and I don't know, that day I was obsessed with my YouTube analytics. And like after every few sets, I'll just look at my phone and start going through my YouTube studio to see how like my videos were doing. I wasn't really mindful of what I was doing, but afterwards and after tonight I was like, oh, what are you doing? I actually felt disgusted with myself. We all have a problem with our attention spans, and it's time that we improve our attention spans so that we can dominate in life. Not even dominate, just enjoy life as it should be enjoyed. So the first step to increasing your attention span is simply reduce the amount of time you spend on your phone. People will be like, why don't you reduce Instagram first? Why don't you reduce TikTok and whatever? If you spend less time on your phone, you're going to spend less time on those apps anyway. So your main goal should just be spend less time on my phone. And after you start spending less time on your phone, once you've gained the ability to put your phone down, now that's when you look at reducing the time watching short form content. You can consume content all you want. Just make sure that you're not consuming short form content. You know those reels, YouTube shorts. When you reduce your time watching the short form content, you have to replace it with something, because time not used will just be filtered to another bad habit. So I want you to mindfully replace the short form content that you consume with long form content, like reading books, watching podcasts, not this hyper edited stuff. And the fourth and last way to increase your attention span is to start meditating. And there are many forms of meditating. Meditation is simply focusing on one thing for a long period of time. So you can meditate on like a Bible verse. You can meditate on your breath, like just focusing on breathing in and out. Prayer is a type of meditation. So whatever form of meditation you use, just make sure that you do that every day so that you cultivate the ability to bring back a wandering mind. Because that's really all your attention span is. It's your ability to bring back a wandering mind. And how long can you do that for? Because it's your mind is going to wander. But it's like your ability to bring back that wandering mind determines your attention span. And now that this is a bonus tip of how to increase your attention span. Literally just spend time staring at your wall, doing absolutely nothing. Because I promise you, I don't know how it works, but ever since I've implemented that in my life, it's massively boosted my attention span. Implement the things I've told you, because once your attention span's been restored, every area of your life will improve.